Sangye Chadan Soki Chonama Chanchu Padu Rani Kyapsuchi Dhaki Chanyen Gepe Sanam Ki Rola Peche Sangye Dupasho Sangye Chadan Soki Chonama Chanchu Padu Dani Kyapsuchi Dhaki Chanyen Gepe Sanam Ki Lola Pancha Sangye Rubasho.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know the period today. American Luso, Ari Luso, Mando, Yen Luso, Marathon, Mare, Son, Quini. That is enough. The Tanda setting out to the Guamare, Kona, Karin, Kansas,
Gisela wants the two monks from Sarah J to know that this whole thing about offering me this big fancy mandala offering and offering me and then doing this long refuge prayer and bodhicitta prayer is not my system. That they brought that system from America and they're doing that to me, and my other students don't do that to me normally, and I don't want you to think that I think I'm this big shot that they have to do that, and that's just something those Americans are doing that they brought here and started doing, and I didn't tell them to stop it, but they're just doing it on their own. And so please don't tell all the monks from Sarah J that I think I'm this big lama and everybody has to make mandalas to me and all that stuff. Otherwise you might think that Geshe-la is imposing extra labor on all of us. Just kidding.
Ali Taki Ketchup, Taran Shogan Ketchup. I get the Tina to Tangi shoot the Chilam, cheese heading shoot the cheese. Carres and that and Timo going to Chilam. Carres and Taran Shogan Ketchup, the Canadian University, Sam Zambe, Tanju, Package Chiva. For Tanju, next to Java. Debbie on the time, language, Tangola, Jungle, Matongo, Simidena. Kunso Dembe, Tenshi, Kunso the US at Chiba Marriage. Tandamdo, Messi, Messa Chiba Marichi Song. This one, Tana Karichiva Sena, Kunso Tandam Dembe, Tenshi Carres, teaching Chiva. Kunso Demba, she fixed to Kunso Carres, Chiva, around the China, Kunso the US at the Carre, Tandam the Messi, Messa Carre, my level, same time, Chiba Maradin, Chiva has no home legend, Tanju legend, the Tati Martin, my half wood one, Tarancho Gachis, that is him what she's not. We should teach
Geshe-la says, please don't write the following. Okay, this is just a recap of what we did this morning, and don't want to see you, not necessary to write it. You can write what comes after this. I'm about to give you something fresh. But just to recap what happened this morning, there was a questioning going on and answering going on. The MindOnly school, if you remember, asked the Madhyamika people, hey, what do you mean when you say nothing exists by definition or ultimately, and everything does exist nominally, or also they called it deceptively? What do you mean when you say that? And then Jetsun Kappa was pointing out that in the reported answers of the Madhyamika, right? The answers that came out were, when we talk about ultimate, let's talk about ultimate reality, and we'll give you an idea of what we mean when we say ultimate reality. So actually, the question was about, what do you mean when you say things that exist ultimately, don't exist ultimately, and then you come back and start giving us this thing about ultimate reality, which begs the question, it's a different question. And then when the MindOnly school asked the Madhyamika people, what do you mean when you say things don't exist ultimately or do exist deceptively? What do you mean by deceptive? And then the Madhyamika's answer didn't didn't address that question. Instead, they said, "Oh, you want to know what we think about deceptive reality, especially about the word deceptive in the expression deceptive reality? Well, here's what we think about that." And then Jetsun Kappa says, based on the Madhyamika's answer, we have to reconstruct retroactively the Mind-Only School's question to say that the Mind-Only School's original questions, when they said, what do you mean when you say nothing exists by definition, or when you say that nothing exists ultimately, and what do you mean when you say everything does exist nominally or deceptively, that those two questions must have and what do you mean when you say ultimate reality, and what do you mean when you say deceptive reality, based on the way that the Madhyamika people answered it. So despite the appearance of the question, the real question must have been, based on the answer by the Middle Way School, you know, what does it mean for something to be ultimate reality, and what does it mean for something to be deceptive reality? So we can reconstruct the question according to the given by the Madhyamika Prasangika, because the correct answer. So